recognized Israel when many people told him not to.
Excuse me, I never said that.
Yeah, you did.
Show it to me, and I'll tell you what. Show it to me, and I'll give $10,000 to the charity of your choice. No, right now. Okay. I got another question. I sit down, and all of a sudden you're attacking me about I have to come up with a new idea about Trump, and I have to talk. What the hell do you care?
Okay.
Let me ask you a question. Wait
First
a second.
of all,
well, you like me have built a career out of nothing except talent and a little bit of luck and a lot of hard work. But you're full of what? I don't understand.
Yes, please do me a favor, like the video, and if possible, check if your notification is on. For new people coming to this channel, I want to appreciate you. Check if you have subscribed. Now going into this video, Bima had an exchange with this Hollywood legend. I believe he regret the whole interview because what I saw is extremely important. I want to show you the complete videos. Looking through the whole interview, it was interesting. They went back to 2020 election. We all know what happened. On this clip, we are going to look into that.
Each book you get more right wing, I have to say. You get like the last one. I remember you were on my show, and there was like one line in it that was, and I said to you on the air, like,
this is a good story.
Are you implying that Trump, that election was stolen by Biden? And no, I didn't. You were kind of like hedging it, and now you're like,
well, you know what happened to me the next morning. You don't know what happened to me the next morning. I was on your show, and you said, "Are you implying that the election was stolen?" And I was kind of iffy on it. Right, next morning, 8 o'clock, the phone rings.
This is funny.
A woman on the phone says, "Mr. Mamet, will you hold for the president?" I said, "Wait a second, Biden is calling the president? It's Trump." It's during the Biden administration. And he says, "David, it's Donald Trump." I say, Mr. President, thank you for calling. To what do I owe the honor? He said, "I saw you on Bill Maher yesterday. You were great." He said, "But you wussed out on the question of the stolen election."
Awesome.
And then he talked to me for like 20 minutes about how the election was stolen.
But it wasn't.
Well, I think it was.
But they've adjudicated this. They've looked at this. Republicans have looked at this. It was tested in court like 60 times. It was thrown out every time. Trump's own commission, appointed by his own commissioners to look at the election, the Cybersecurity Commission, it's called, or agency. There's two of them. One of them is within the Department of Homeland Security. They all said the same thing. It was the most fair, honest election we've ever had.
No, I'm not talking about the votes. I'm not talking about counting the votes. That the Hunter Biden laptop was suppressed, the information was suppressed. Zuckerberg said himself that the White House pressured him not to bring forward the information on the laptop. Rasmussen said, had that come out, there would have been a 17-point spread.
Please.
Facts.
That's so ridiculous. Those things are true. And they did suppress the Hunter Biden. The press did do that. I've said this many times myself. And nobody was more out there about we weren't allowed to hear about what we wanted to hear about than I was. But would it have swung the election? Every election, some things are suppressed. It's not a very fair game, politics.
Yes, permit me to interrupt this video. When you take a look at how this guy is going into Bima, you will see it clearly. This is what he has been singing. Oh, this was the most transparent election. Oh, this did not happen. The day B was invited to the White House, by Kid Rock, we saw what happened. He still struggled to emphasize that Trump did not win inside the White House. And when he came out, he was still struggling to prove to people I was able to speak up in front of Trump that he should accept that he did not win. That is something I've noticed with him. He's actually been triggered here because according to B, nothing happened in 2020. Trump lost. That is what he has been singing every single time. And this guy is not taking it because he understands exactly. Can I say he understands something that B can't see?
Wait, we play within a certain amount of rules?
Yes, we always did before. Like, we're not going to have other countries involved in our elections. That was, we'll do whatever we want to each other. but we're not going to do that. And
Well,
Trump
who did it?
Well, Trump publicly said, Russia, if you're listening, could you get into Hillary's emails? That kind of stuff.
Dude, he was joking about.
Oh, boy, you swallowed the
Well, so
whole...
wait a second. Are you saying that he would now, okay, you want to adjudicate the last 8 years? Were you saying he was a Russian spy?
I did not say that.
Did you say he...
I said I'm not saying he's a Russian spy. I don't think that. What he's selling, the Bitcoin, have dinners with the open bribery that goes on.
Open bribery.
Okay, people don't seem to care about that. But he certainly invited another country to do things, and they took advantage of it, of course.
How?
Would it have
How?
made a difference? I don't know.
How did they take advantage of it?
Tell me more.
Well, Trump's campaign manager was sharing polling data with a GRU agent.
Maybe.
Well, okay, that's something that, even Nixon didn't do that.
Wait, that's the first that I've heard. A, and B, if it's true, and I'm not saying that it is, how did that influence the election?
Well, we know that Russia would put things on the internet that weren't true just to get people fighting, that kind of stuff.
Like what?
They would say, the Pope, they would put up some meme about, the Pope is backing Trump. It wasn't true, but people believed it, and then they started to fight over it.
Here's my question. When last we spoke several years ago, you were stuck on this issue. You're still stuck on it. How come?
Because it's not been resolved.
So wait, what is it that hasn't been resolved?
The asymmetry of American elections. The fact that if one party, the Republican Party, wins the election, the other party goes, okay, you win some, you lose some, and they go home. So Hillary Clinton went home, Kamala Harris went home.
Yeah.
You can't imagine Trump ever going home.
Excuse me. Now what you're doing is injecting metaphysics into what might be a matter of... So the question is not what he did. The question is not even what he might do. What you've just said is one can't imagine. What you've just said is one can't imagine what he would do. But on the other hand...
No, I don't have to imagine what he did in 2020, which was never concede the election. I'm not even...
Dude, he didn't have to concede the election. He lost. If somebody is beaten in a prize fight and the other guy gets the belt, the person who's beaten does not have to concede. It's not necessary. He's lost.
Well, it is necessary. The analogy falls down because if a prize fighter loses, it doesn't inspire people to riot.
How did he inspire people to riot?
By not conceding the election.
Oh, come on.
What?
Come on. So wait a second. He didn't say the words, I concede, and so that meant people rioted?
Yes. What do you think January 6th was about?
What do you think January 6th was?
It was about people who did not hear their leaders say, every other leader in this country has said after an election, okay, I lost. We welcome the new guy. We had disagreements, but now we're all Americans. When Obama took over, George Bush stood next to him, and he said, we want you to succeed, because when you succeed, Trump didn't do any of that.
Yes, Hillary Clinton still believes that she won the election. I don't know what B's talking about. These are things they don't focus to cover. They will always go on Trump. At a certain point, when I watch videos where Hillary Clinton was rejecting, even still today, I still look at her posts saying the same thing. We saw what happened during Kamala period. A lot of Democrats came out, oh, Trump has done, this election was not transparent, things like that. But Democrats will never really seek to discuss this. When it's Republicans, they are now bringing conspiracy to do this. Trump had the right to say what he said. Yes. Because a lot of things were suppressed, like this Facebook thing, be talking here. We all know the Russian, a lot of things were happening. When you mention it on social media, it was a problem. These people didn't see that as a thing. So tell me, now B's talking about meme, Russia putting out. This same thing happened into this election between Trump and Kamala. I had a friend. She had a channel. She posted something. I don't know what it was, AI generated video. The channel was deleted.
Seriously, this is a serious problem for Democrats. Less than 1 in 4 Democrats under 30 say they're proud to be an American. 54% say they're embarrassed by it. Embarrassed. Like America's your mom picking you up at school?
Well, I think you're complimenting it by calling it a policy. Just not to talk about my book again, but one of the things we discovered when we did this book, Original Sin, me and Alex Thompson, is there's a senator, Senator Bennett from Colorado, who went to an event in June 2024 where Biden seemed non-functioning.
How bad is his reputation going to be in the future? It was bad before your book. Now it's worse.
There was a line. People line up for my advice. And you're walking away like I'm stupid. It's like,
why don't we choose more carefully who we're going to lionize?
Why marriage, infertility, trying to have kids makes things difficult. It's like
she's seriously depressed about how hard it is to live in the White House.
Post this morning alleging that since I said I will prevail.
It also shouldn't be racial.
Require Carmelo to run. He had
100.
Has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification.
This is not going to end. Right is right and wrong is wrong. All good.
If you see any clips after this, that is just for the YouTube algorithm.
What if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense because kids in here and resolve this issue is called conflict resolution.
Again, the evidence is still coming in.
This is definitely a self-defense case because it always is one until you...
Because she's fearful of what might happen to her.
Followers for anything. And then
Registration Act is
talking about
Term, and you will be very...
Once again, the field was littered with Wintour does.
And black people don't want to live around ratchet black.
How bad is his reputation going to be?
Go to your search bar, type in Elon Musk.